to give up on something like sports or school or friends? Well, I have too, but looking back, I'm really glad I didn't because things would be a lot different now. My lessons that I learned from this story I'm going to tell you is no matter how hard things get or if you're scared to try again, you pretty much have to because or else you're going to regret. Last year, it was during softball season, and softball is my favorite sport, so I was excited. And it was the second game of the season, and we were playing at South Tama, so it was a long bus ride there, and we got there, and we were ready to play. And it was really windy that day, and they had just redone their field. And instead of it being smooth like normal fields should be, it was all bumpy, and we all noticed that and were commenting on it. So we knew we'd have to be prepared for bounces. And so we warmed up and got ready, and I was going to pitch the second game and play shortstop the first game. We were the away team, so we got to bat first, and I was fourth in the lineup, but the first three people struck out. It was a bad beginning of a game. So then we took the field, and the first batter came up, and we got her out. And so then we're down with one out, and the next batter came up, and she hit the ball at me, and that wasn't anything new to me because I've taken so many grounders in my life, I can't even tell you how many. And so, like normal, like I was taught, I went to charge it, and it was coming hard and rolling like normal. And right as I got to it, it took a hop, and it hit me in the nose. I didn't really think much of it, because I've gotten hit with the ball plenty of times until I checked to see if I was bleeding, and I was. So then I started walking off of the field, and just pools of blood were coming out, and it was so gross. And so by the time I got to the dugout, the varsity coach was already there, and he was waiting for me, and he gave me a towel and told me to put pressure on it, and so I did that, and he told me that I broke my nose and I needed to go to the hospital and they were going to reset it. So by that time I was freaking out because the thought of someone resetting your nose is just terrifying. So then my sister and my mom and my grandparents had to come down from the stands and we had to get ready to leave. And my arms were covered in blood, so we had to wash them off. And my sister saw all of it and almost fainted. It was that much blood. So then we had to ride all the way back from South Tama to Vinton to go to the hospital. And we got to the hospital and had to wait probably about 20 minutes. And we got in there and they said there wasn't really anything they could do, so because it was too swollen, and so I'd have to come back in a couple of days. So a couple of days later, we went to the doctor again, and he thankfully said I didn't have to get my nose reset. So then I decided it was time to start softball again. So I went to Cedar Rapids and got a face mask to wear, so because my eyes were all black and blue and I was still swollen up. And I was really hesitant about going back because I was obviously scared I was going to get hit again. But I got to the field and Coach Parrott, our head coach, said that we were going to take some grounders. So he beamed short hops at me over and over. After the first one, I was honestly about ready just to quit. I was terrified, but I didn't, and I just kept going. And that night I played again for the first time in 2 days, and everything went okay. So I learned from this that even though I was scared and I didn't want to get back at it and try again, that it's important to, because you don't know what you could miss out on. From hearing my story, I feel like you could also learn that if anything comes up in your life that you're scared of, or you're scared to try or anything like that, that you should try it because you're going to regret it one day if you don't, so don't ever give up. And I'll end this by saying, I'm glad I didn't give up, and hopefully you won't give up if something comes up, because you don't want to look back and regret giving up.